Hey everybody, Scout Crafty here again, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be showing you some footage from Wednesday when I went to the Long Island Antique Tool Meet, which had a great time. A little light turnout because of they were calling for rain most of the week, and it turned out beautiful that day. So there was no rain. It was a nice day, and we had a great time. We made up for the lack of the attendance. We made up with quality. There were a lot of quality stuff there. You might hear a cricket down here. I don't know how he got down here, but he likes chiming in, and he gets a little boisterous when I get down here. So I'm going to leave him some water, and hopefully we'll see if we can get him outside. So let's go check out the tool meet now, because we always have good times, especially when guys bring in show and tell stuff. So let's check that out. Now, it turned out to be an absolutely beautiful day, even though they were calling for rain. You could see they were wrong again. And we're at the grounds early, but a lot of times the best part of these get-togethers is people bring things for show and tell. Here, Mike bought a whole lot of tools that looked like they were shipwright tools, but another Mike, the fireman, brought this great jack for us to figure out what it was. It's some kind of jack. Do you know what that is? Have you ever seen one before? Pretty interesting, right? Well, that jack is actually a mine jack made for holding up the roofs of mines when they're drilling them out. Pretty interesting. Now, my good buddy Rich, you know him as Snap Ring Chronicles, he brought down this great tool from Germany, a watchmaker's tool known as a poising tool. And what this tool does, as you can see here, it's on a tripod, so you can level it out, and it has jaws that open and close, and it has a ruby inserts or other kind of sapphire or some kind of hard stone inserts you can see on the jaw, and that's so that they can balance out crucial parts of a pocket watch or a wrist watch. And you can see here how that works. Very interesting tool, very precise. Sometimes they put them in glass domes, not so the wind don't affect it. What those things, the use of them. This runs through the channels? See anything? Do you have any idea how hard it is for me to pass by $1 hammers? And you can see hexite, wedge head. Now, it's got a wedged head on it, on both sides. Has anybody ever seen one of those wedge head wrenches? This here is a beautiful punch. You can see the quality of this punch. They made them in letters, and this is just a number punch, but I looked it up quickly on eBay, and I could see it's called a numberall, and they did come in sets of letters and numbers. Quite expensive. Okay, so as you can see, it was a beautiful meet, and I was really good. I only bought actually one tool. Can you imagine that? Only one tool, and it was for $1. So everything else was, let me show you what we got. Okay, this is the only tool that I purchased there, and it's funny because my buddy Kent, and a special shout out to Kent and also his mom. His mom sent down some great vegetables. We'll talk about that later, but here is a pair of and it's funny, I pick these up every time Kent is there. He goes, will you just buy those already for $1? So I said, okay, Ken, you know. He goes, you pick them up every time and look at them. The only reason I didn't buy them, and I usually don't, you know how I am. I like pliers or lineman pliers that touch at the tip, and these don't. But I wanted to do these over. It's like they're calling me to refurbish them. They're Boca, but they just don't touch at the tip, so I always let them go. And he's like, just buy them already. So pick that up. Next, I bought a pair of nice number 5 master locks. But what's so interesting about these is, even though they're identical locks, they're different. You can see the stampings on here. You see underneath the shackle, and how the name is on the back and everything. How they're different. They're the same but different. So that's pretty interesting. I thought we'll clean them up one time. From the same dealer, I got these outstanding pencils. I mean, this was just, first of all, can we just appreciate how when you bought something years ago, it came in such beautiful packaging. They took the time to, I hate clamshell. I hate the junk that you get today. Look at this beautiful, whoever designed this box, right? This is here, you can see it's in Ebhard Faber pencils, and you can see here they came in different, you see it says made in 5 degrees. That's the hardness. And this one here is a number 1. This is a soft, which is what I really love. And look at these beautiful pencils. Look how nicely these pencils are embossed, and just beautiful, aren't they? I mean, if you like pencils, this is it. And I got a box of number 1. I bought, of course, everything had, and a box of number 3. So pick these up. Again, look at that. Look at how beautiful they package these, and with that sliding box. And again, you know, you can keep your pencils in here like a little pencil case. Just beautiful. I wish they still made stuff like that today. The last thing I picked up was, yes, I picked this up. It is a Olin flare gun. Now, I must admit, this is the first flare gun that I own. It is a working flare gun. This is usually used, you know, when you take a boat out and you're going to be doing night. It's 25 millimeter signal flare launcher. And how this operates is you push this pin in here. This will open up the chamber. You drop in your flare cartridge, close it. You pull this back like this, and it's ready to go. When you pull the trigger, what will happen is this will come forward. This little pin will come through here, and you can see when I pull the trigger here, that'll allow it to go all the way through, and it will hit the primer cap and launch the flare. You can see the condition this is in. This would be a fun project. I think you would enjoy seeing this done, right? So that's why I got it. Next up, a good friend of the show took a drive down to say hello when he found out we were going to be there yesterday. And by name is Nick Zeroli, a nice guy, real nice guy. And Nick said, you know, he goes, I was watching some of your episodes. He goes, I know you have an old furnace and you're like, and look at this. Look at this beautiful level meter. I don't even know what this does or how it operates. There's some kind of plunger in here when you push down, and then if I cover this up with my finger and push down, you see how the temperature needle goes up, but it comes, I don't know how it works. I know some of you guys are oil burner technicians or something, so maybe you've seen this before, but I'll look it up and I'll find out. But what I thought was really interesting, look at the back here. It says 48-inch diameter, whatever, but it says number 2 and number 3 oil. That's the oil I use. But look at this, November 21st, 1952. Isn't that cool? 1952. Somebody wrote that down on here. And here it is. It's in our hands today. And he also brought down this cool utility knife and an NOS, new old stock, or it looks new old stock, spiral ratchet, well, screwdriver from Miller's Falls. And look at this. Look at this. Is this not absolutely, look at that handle. This, you know, we usually see them all beat up and stuff. And look, just look at this. Look at that on there, the writing. And you can see here, it's just lovely, you know. These things, there's the spring. You can see the original grease is still on there. New old stock, just lovely. So, Nick, thank you so much for that. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, next up, my buddy Kent asked me, he says, listen, John, I got a Plumb-Bob, and it looks like it's snapped off the tip. He says, do you think you can do something with that? And I said, you know, of course, this is the kind of projects we love to do, right? Now, a couple things about this. First of all, if you don't know what a Plumb-Bob is, it's meant to, a piece of string will go in here. You take the cap off, you make a knot in a piece of string, and you put the string through here so the knot won't pull out. And now that hangs directly over the center. And you put this under a tripod or a sextant or something to get the center. Or if you were even going from one floor to another and you want to see where it is, and gravity will take this down to a point. And here's the point. They are replaceable points. Ken got this point. It looks like the same thread. Now, getting that part out is going to be difficult. It always is, you know, because there's a couple ways to do it. Now, what we're going to try and do is drill it out. But when you drill it out, because this isn't rusted, it's brass, and it shouldn't be too hard, but you never know. But this is a perfect time for a left-handed drill bit, because a left-handed drill bit spins the other way, so when it grabs, it'll unthread it. So let's try and see if that works. Now, most of my work I like to do on the drill press. Unfortunately, most drill presses and milling machines don't have a left-handed, or mine doesn't have a left speed. You know, it's usually just a right hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a center drill and make a small hole in there, and then use a hand drill, which does have left-handed capability to try and drill. Now, here you can see we're dealing with a very small center drill. We're going to try and get a hole started in there and use a left-handed drill bit. Okay, so this is what the left-handed drill bit looks like. Again, they're just like a regular drill bit, but they're made to turn, instead of clockwise, they turn counterclockwise. Now, like I said, these things spin in. It's a fine thread. There's no rust. It shouldn't have a problem. We made that small dimple in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this drill bit and drill it in, and when it starts to catch, it should back it out. Again, we have it on counterclockwise. Push it in. There we go. That's what you call Bob is your uncle. Now, when you spin this out, look at this. This is one of those jobs that it's just, that's just fun job. When something that goes right like that, that's very rewarding. Now we'll see if the new one fits. Real quick, just to give you an example, I put an O-ring on there. You see that O-ring? And just to give you an example, I was talking about if you had some kind of fiber wash, but as you squeeze the O-ring down, you see here, it does make it look like well, anyway, you'll let us know, and everybody will let us know in the comments what that's supposed to be. But just so you know, I'll put a link in the description for these. I got these off Amazon. If you don't have a set, if it comes in handy one time, it'll be worth the money. Really okay, good. So in closing, I just want to put a special shout out to my buddy Joe. Joe is a follower of the channel, and when we did last week, we did our little elephant trunk walkthrough, and I pointed out something I said was a steam engine governor. It wasn't. It was actually, and Joe was an elevator mechanic, so he knew right away what it was. It was a elevator brake, a governor for an elevator. It's an amazing piece of equipment. I don't know if Otis invented it, but Otis did have patents on these, and it's just beautiful. So how they worked is the elevator wire rope, or the cable, as we know it, that goes to the elevator car would go up and wrap around that thing, and if it exceeded so many feet per minute, like 350 feet per minute would be considered normal, but if it went up to like 420 feet per minute, it meant you were falling too quick. It would trip a lever that would cut off the power and apply brakes to the wire rope. Amazing. So, Joe, thank you so much for pointing that out. I had no idea, and now it's on my bucket list. How crazy is that? So, anyway, thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you again on Monday. We got a few projects ready.